Talking high school basketball this morning. Sylacauga Aggies, the Aggies in the regional tournament down in Montgomery at the Oliver Dunn Acadome. Early start on Monday morning, and Coach Will Copeland and Coach Jones join us this morning. Good morning to both of you.
Sir.
Good morning.
And Coach Copeland, a pretty good year for you guys.
Yes, sir. We've had a good year, played some good competition, and we're at 24-7 right now, and won the area tournament, won the sub-region on Tuesday night, and headed to Montgomery for Monday's game.
All right, before we go any further, and I didn't mention this to you last time you were on or broached the subject, but you surround yourself with some pretty good folks helping you with the team.
Great JV coach, assistant varsity coach, Coach Jones, has done a great job with all these kids that's on varsity now. He had them as either freshmen or JV and just really did a good job of developing the character in them. The fundamental, the skills, the work ethic has been great, and they were just passed on to me. So it's just a gift that he's given me as far as being able to coach them and have them, and I just got to make sure I don't mess it up too bad.
Now, Coach Jones, this JV team this year is a special group of young guys.
They were. You know, you don't want to say the best about anything. It's almost like raising kids. You have kids with different intangibles, but you don't want to put one above the other. And I won't say that this is the best team that I've ever coached, JV that I've ever coached, but they are one of them.
Coach Copeland, that makes you feel good about the future too, doesn't it?
It does. Great kids that are coming along that just love basketball, and like I said, Coach Jones done a great job of developing them.
The immediate future is now. Monday morning at the Acadome on the campus of Alabama State University, and what a tough draw.
Yes, sir. Sumter County, Sumter Central has got upset in the area finals and got beat by another good team, Central Tuscaloosa. So
they lost and came back, and
they lost the sub-region.
Okay.
I mean, they lost the area, and then they won in the sub-region against Calera, at Calera, by 15. So
kind of shows you what kind of strength they have, right?
Yes, sir. Well, this time of year, when you get down, we're in the final Sweet 16. Everybody's going to be good, and everybody's going to be a challenge, some more than others, but all of them are going to be something that you have to prepare for at any given day.
What about this Aggie squad from 2016, or maybe last year, of course, to this year? How's this team grown, and the numbers that you brought back from last year's squad?
We brought back a lot of guys. We're very experienced. Last year we started 3 sophomores, and those guys are juniors this year, and we've got four juniors actually starting this year, and 1 senior, Khalil Pope, with some guys who are seniors that really give us a lot of minutes, because the way we play up and down the floor, we've got guys, Jasad Smith, Derek Carter, guys Jordan Robinson, some Rod Milner that come off the bench and help us and really provide a spark for us. So the way we play a lot of guys, and everybody's important.
Coach Jones, you know about how important depth is, because it's a fast-paced basketball, and depth oftentimes makes a difference.
It does. Coach Copeland and I talked a lot this year during practices. We would practice my JV against his varsity squad. We would compete, and at one point I said, Coach, we got to develop some depth with our second unit. So let's step away from practicing my JV against the varsity, and let's go first team varsity against second team varsity. And those guys have really grown since that point. They have.
Sylacauga High School in the regionals in Montgomery beginning Monday morning. And Coach, I don't know what it is about these big coliseums. Oftentimes it's very difficult to make shots.
Yes, sir. We played Booker T. Washington last year in the regionals and shot 29% from the field.
That ain't too good.
That's not too good. And we're hoping that, more experience, and there's nothing really you can do besides going down there shooting, and of course they don't allow you to do that.
What are some differences? I'm sure a lot of it is mental, but what are some of the differences?
As far as shooting it's just there's an open backdrop. There's bleachers behind, there's seats behind the goals, which is not something we see a lot except when we go to Childersburg. So that's something that it's depth perception on how they see the goal is, and a lot of it. But sometimes if you're a shooter, you're a shooter and you can make it. So
we have seen in for instance, Alabama's basketball team. how atrocious their free throw shooting is. How important is that, not only at the college level, but high school level?
Very important. The games that we've won, especially the close game, we look back and we're shooting 22 out of 28 from the free throw line. And then some of the games that we've lost this year, we're shooting less, 50% or less. It's just sometimes we just, sometimes we get a little tired and we're not stepping up there and making them, and, lack of concentration or so.
How good is this Aggie squad in 2017? You're Coach Jones, you see them every day as well.
Go ahead.
How good is this team, and how far can they go?
The sky's the limit. When you get to the regionals, I've been blessed to have been to at least 9 regionals and 2 Final Fours. And that tells you how difficult it is to get beyond the region. And on Tuesday night, I told Coach, hey, I don't want to take part in the net cutting ceremony. The kids can have fun doing it, but I'm looking farther down the road. We got there last year. You want to get there this year, and you want to do a little bit better. Hopefully get to the championship game and at the region, and hopefully come out regional champs. You got to show up and play on that day. If you don't show up, you won't win.
Coach Copeland, people watching in other parts of Alabama on the Alabama Cable Network who are watching high school basketball, what can they expect from this Aggie squad? How does this Aggie squad play, and how can they play in Montgomery?
We are not going to change very much that we do. We are vertically challenged. We don't have anyone over 6'1", so we have to play a style of play that's up and down the floor. Sometimes, if the pressing as far as trapping is concerned is not there, we just have to pick them up full court man and make people work for what they get and just work on our defense. And so we just expect to get up and down the floor and do what we do, because I don't think that this time of year, we've gotten this far with the way we play. I don't think it would be very wise to go down there and just, pack in a zone or start walking the ball up and down the floor. This is who we are. And this is who we have to be, just an up-tempo basketball team to try to use our quickness and our athletic ability and our skill players to force the tempo.
Do you think this squad senses that, hey, we've got a great opportunity before us?
They do. And I've told them before the year, the first day of the year, that we're going to Birmingham, but I told them, I said, don't be fooled by that, because everybody's going to Birmingham. Not everybody's going to make it, but everybody's headed to Birmingham. You keep playing, you're going to eventually end up in Birmingham. So it's kind of, I've told them that, but I have to remind them, that doesn't mean we're going. That means we're headed to Birmingham. And we have to continue to work. And, there's been times in which they start thinking about, who are we going to play? And you have to pull those back in and say, look, let's focus on this one game right here, on who we're playing tonight, and pull them back in. Yes, sir.
Coach Jones, 16 teams left in 5A basketball, and everybody's going for the same prize, and it's an honor to be in the Sweet 16, but that's not the last step.
You're right. As I said previously, you want to get there, give yourself an opportunity, and hopefully bring your best brand of basketball, as I say, your A game, and hopefully we'll get a chance to come out regional champs and move on into Birmingham the following week.
What, tip 10:30 Monday morning?
10:30. Girls tip off at 9, and we go at 10:30.
And we'll have Coach Crawford in here with us tomorrow morning to talk about the girls. It's unusual that both boys and girls basketball programs, year in and year out, are so competitive like they are at Sylacauga High School.
Well, I think, just having Coach Jones with me and my experience, and then Coach Crawford, I think, they came from, and I didn't know the man, but Coach Martin, and I think he did a great job mentoring Coach Jones and Coach Crawford and and I think it's just, there's things that they've taught me that I've brought in myself, but they've also taught me, because I think if you're going to make it in this business, you've got to keep an open mind and listen to wisdom of people before you and people that's been successful in what they've done, especially at a particular school.
Coach Jones, Coach Copeland mentioned Coach Martin, and you speak of basketball. He's one of the first names out of your mouth because he was a great one. Always.
Coach Martin hired him a great assistant coach in Gerald Douglas, fresh out of Montevallo University. And those two guys made big time coaching staff. They were great together. Justin lived, ate, sleep. Basketball, if you drove by the high school, his truck was...
I don't think I ever saw him without that clipboard.
Exactly. He's just one of those guys that you need to try and be a sponge around. Soak up all and everything that comes out his mouth and watch everything that he does. And if you can just be almost as a tip of as good as what he is, you've accomplished something.
Hey, Coach Copeland, in closing this morning, the schedule for your club as far as practice and then the travel to Montgomery?
Oh, we're going today. We took a light day. We did a lot of shooting, some film work yesterday. Today will be a hard day. Today and tomorrow will be really tough days of focusing on what we got to do to win. And then Sunday, we will practice again, and then we will depart for Montgomery Sunday night, spend the night Sunday night, and then get up early on Monday morning and leave the hotel and go play, watch the girls, and then go get ready to play.
About 30 seconds. I know you want to take a big group from Sylacauga. Usually they travel well.
Yes, sir. We need their support. These kids need to look up in the stands and see that they're supported. And hopefully, we've done a good job of preparing them. But it's always good to hear people that's supporting you and there for you, and you can look up in the stands and know that they're there, hoping you're doing your best.
Finally, 2 keys to success for Sylacauga Monday morning.
We've got to defend their 3-point shooters. Coach and I were talking before we went on the air about how we've got to defend. They've got several players, number 5 and number 10, who can just flat shoot. Yeah. We've got to defend, and we've got to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do offensively.
Coach Copeland, the head basketball coach over at Sylacauga High School, Coach Jones, assistant and mentor to a lot of these young guys, and a great season for the JVs too.
24-1, big time.
All right, thank you both for being here. Good luck on Monday.
Thank you, sir.